Hey everyone, my name's Adam Archer, and today we're going to be taking a look at all the knives I've picked up this month. So went to a few different events. One of them was the 127 yard sale, the Central Kentucky Knife Collectors Show, as well as an antique show. So let me show all the knives that I picked up. So let's take a look at this large knife first that I picked up at the antique show. This is, I saw it actually at a person's booth, and picked it up, looked at it, and it was a Rimpler knife. So it's actually a custom-made knife from a guy in Indiana. It does have some rust on it. Somebody tried to take it to, I guess, a grinder or a bench stone and kind of left some marks on here, as you can see that. But still, I ended up getting it for, I think it was like $30. So crazy good deal. I think it was called like the Mountain Knife or something like that, but really for $30 for a custom-made knife, very good deal. Also at that, actually from the same person, I picked up one other knife, which was this advertising slide knife. So you just push down on the button and push it forward. It can lock in a few different positions, as you can see there, but I thought it was super cool. I think it's called a Gitz knife. Really like the handle on this, the colors on there. What was funny though is purchased this knife, I think it was like $15, $20, and on Instagram somebody posted these two knives for sale also, same brand. These are not advertising models though, but still super cool. And I've oiled these up so they run a little bit better. But really cool. I got those, I think, for $25 a piece. So, showed everything I got at the antique show. At the Central Kentucky Knife Collectors Show, I picked up these two Western boot knives with black leather sheaths. This is the model W77. This one has been used some. I did sharpen it, so now it is very sharp. Has some nicks all over the handles, but still super cool boot knife. And the smaller version, I believe this is the W75. Let's make sure. Yep, W75. This one's in a little bit better condition. But these are from the 80s. So not exactly newly made knives. At the same show, so I picked these up. I think they were the pair of them for $120. The same show, I picked up these two cold steel boot knives slash push knives. And these are also from the 80s. This one is called the Terminator. I believe maybe also the Defender. They made the same knife in the 90s with, I believe, a Kydex sheath, as well as the text was on, I believe, the blade instead of on the handle. Made in Japan, super comfortable, really cool knife. And then this one is, I believe, called the Urban Skinner, I believe is the name of this one. Also a push dagger, just single edged though. Yeah, that's single edge. Kind of has a false edge on this side. There you go. Got those for, I believe it was $100 each. Everything else here I picked up during the 127 sale, which is crazy because it's not normally that good of a knife place. Most of these I don't actually remember the prices I got them for, but a lot of them I bought in like bundles. So like I got this Camillus Small Cuda, a buck. This is the 500. I believe they call it the Knight, maybe. Pretty bad condition on that blade. some Japanese like tourist knives with a jaguar, I believe, on it. Got 2 of those. I believe these were sold in like the 70s or 80s. A Gerber multi-tool, as well as a SOG multi-tool. I believe they had these in a box for like, I think it was like $10 a piece or something like that. I think this German-made folder was in there also, which this is made by Sword and Shield. Yeah, sold in Germany. And yeah, these were like $10 a piece, so I couldn't pass them up. A little imperial knife with a, I think that's a vintage like can opener. Yeah, I think that's Imperial. Providence Cutco. Really cool. Got that for, I think it was $3 at a yard sale. 2 or 3. A SOG. I think this is the Twitch or Flash 2. Missing the pivot, but I don't actually remember how much I paid for it. It was at a price that I couldn't pass up on it, even with the missing pivot screw. These are not knives, but I saw them at a booth that had some knives as well as like tactical gear, and they are ice picks, basically tactical ice picks. Wasn't sure who made them at first, but they were actually made by Crawford, Pat Crawford. Picked them up for, I think it was $30 a piece, which after I started researching more into them, I should have bought a lot more at that booth, because I think they had some other Crawford items, and I think they normally go for $100 or so. But yeah, you can screw them on so that they act like ice picks, or you can unscrew them and you can store them in the handle or screw them in the side to almost use them as push daggers. Very unique items. And I just thought they were really cool when I saw them. Let's see, so shown this stuff. Picked up a vintage Spyderco Ladybug for, I believe, $3. And this appears to have never been used. Super sharp edge on there. No indication of being carried or ever sharpened, but very cool there. A miniature pick lock automatic made in Japan. Little keychain. No safety on there, and I'm going to store it open. Then these knives I picked up all in a group. A Kissing Crane Chris style stiletto. This is a manual open knife with a stag handle. Not sure what this was. It's an Italy made knife. Can't pronounce the name on that. See if you guys can see it. Not sure. Really liked that handle. Looked like water buffalo horn to me. This one called Duke. Probably the strongest spring on there. It's just a slip joint knife, but wow, is that strong. Pretty simple construction on this, basically. Single piece of sheet metal with a palm swell on there. Very neat design. Probably not that expensive a knife, but I liked it. And it was relatively cheap, if I recall correctly. We have another, oh, this is a France-made knife. Right there. Slip joint knife, no half stop on that one. I remember on this one of the things that I found really interesting, you would think they would have basically two pieces of horn that they put together with the screws or with the pins. It's actually a single piece, so you can see it connects right there. So it is basically a single piece that they have milled or cut out, put the back spring in there, and then put the pins. But yeah, that is making it so that it's paired up perfectly, because that's a single piece of horn with no cut in between. Make sure you guys can see that. See if you can zoom in. No, it's not gonna zoom in for you. Oh well. Also have a buck tool, which this was when Buck Knives was making, or I think they were collaborating with a lot of different brands to make Buck branded stuff. And these are a little bit rare now. I feel like I picked up other knives during this lot that I don't see, but I don't remember what they were. I don't know. But I also got a SE5 from that same guy. I remember this only paying, I think it was $50. I think it was 50 or 60. Which, if you know SE5s, they are a lot more than that. The only downside was that he had it sitting in a glass case directly in the sun, and it was so hot that it was actually burning my hands. My hands hurt the entire rest of the day after touching that black paint, and it was making the Kydex sheath extremely flexible. So I was worried that it was actually going to ruin the retention on that Kydex. It didn't, but that was a concern I had. We have a cheap Kershaw, I think this is the Chive maybe? Scallion Chive, the 1620. This I picked up with a group of other knives here. So the Kershaw, this old 007 knife. This was a Chinese made one. These were kind of a infamous knife in itself, as well as a Hackman balisong in just perfect unused condition. It was amazing that I found this. It was at like an auction house. They had a group of knives, and like I picked up this group for like, it was under 20 bucks. This is one that I'm actually going to make a video of cleaning up because it is not functioning correctly currently. I believe they call it the Bokermatic, and it actually has a spring that wants to close the knife. So you open it up, and then when you twist this, it's supposed to spring back closed. And right now it's all gunked up, not wanting to do that. And I picked this up for $5. So, great deal on that. A knife that's supposed to mimic the Spyderco Cricket, made by United, with a dragon on it. I believe I picked that up maybe with this lot. I think it may have been $10. A Marlboro Swiss Army knife. So Marlboro unlimited Marlboro. Press the little Swiss Army logo, and it has a flashlight on it. I took the batteries out because they were starting to corrode, and I didn't want to ruin it farther. So it still is going to work. Just wanted to make sure that it didn't completely ruin it. A Vic 007 knife in very bad condition, very used, but I thought this would be a fun knife to take apart and clean up, replace the pivot pin, polish the blade up to make it look a little bit better. I thought it would be a good project knife. And lastly, a copy of the Dalton Cupid, just a Chinese clone of it, with serrations. Nothing too special, but I think it was $5, so I kind of passed it up. Super cheap, junky knife. But still, I have 4 regular size Dalton Cupids, which, let me show an actual Dalton Cupid versus that knife. So we have a real Dalton Cupid here, and the clone right there. Pretty interesting. Anyways, there you go. That's everything I picked up during this month. Thank you, and have a great day.